What's going on, mother truckers? Can you believe this heavy hauler was willing to risk his company and reputation and family and everything for less than 300 bucks? I mean, we're going to have a hater made. He's a heavy hauler, owns a company, successful. Let's talk about the situation right here. But all I have to say is, for one thing, definitely have respect for yourself. For two, definitely don't take cheap freight. And for three, if you end up with some type of ticket, you need to make sure you fight it because your trucking company could be on the line. So Georgia DOT just posted this and made this go viral to show truck drivers. They wrote, yesterday evening while on patrol, Thompson Region E observed a CMV with an oversized load traveling after the required shutdown time. Officer Thompson conducted an inspection and discovered that the company did not have a permit to travel on the road, oversized and overloaded.
Hey,
What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
Hanging out at home, talking to you.
Oh yeah, we ain't too far apart. We get the same kind of trees in the background.
Hey, yeah, yeah. I actually been seeing some posts, man. You guys out in Key West enjoying it, brother. That's what's up.
Yeah, we having a good time.
Uh, one thing people might not know about Mr. Hater Made here is he does not get to enjoy a lot because he's out there heavy hauling. All right. You know, um, for people that don't know who you are,
hmm
which a lot of people that watch the show do. Can you give them a quick snippet of who you are, your experience, and what you do before we talk about this situation and expose some of this heavy hauling out here?
My name is Jacob Bonham. I'm owner and operator of Bonham Transportation LLC out of Carthage, Texas. Newly over a year now. Been very good, successful. I've been heavy hauling for off and on since I was 18 years old. I did heavy haul. I've done hauled mulch. I've hauled produce. I've hauled cows. I've done flatbed. I've done step deck. But my bread and butter is hauling equipment or specialized cargo. And that's what I love doing, and that's what we do.
And yeah, shout out your social media, please.
Oh, on TikTok, I go by hatermade. That's at hatermade on TikTok. On Instagram, it's at hatermade379. On YouTube, it's at hatermade, and my personal page on Facebook is Jacob Bonham. And on Snapchat, it's hatermade OG.
Okay, so what you're gonna have to do for me, and I hate to make you work, brother, because you're my boy, but you need to text me all the links, so I gotta make sure so I support you the right way. So many people are posting today and showing me this link of Georgia DOT grabbing a heavy hauler, trying to slide one at night and try to drive on roads he shouldn't have because he didn't have permits or anything like that. And then next thing you know, I see you post about it, and I go, "Wait a minute, let's have this conversation right here." So, the this guy right here, and to me, it looked like a big ticket of over $4,300, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem like a big ticket. You know
No.
what I mean? Like I thought, like it was gonna be like a $20,000
Well,
fine. What are your thoughts about that?
what they done was really they weighed him. I seen they weighed him. They measured him. They just gave him an overweight ticket. That's what they did. You know what I mean? I didn't see nowhere where they cited him for, uh, being out after curfew. But if you look at what time the ticket was written compared to what time sunset was that day, he was actually traveling in curfew. I mean, not in curfew yet, but he didn't have a permit. So um, it'd have been just like him just getting busted during the day, honestly, and getting an overweight ticket is what happened. Overweight, overweight, from what I looked like. He was 166,000 pounds gross. Um, and I mean, I looked at his actual spaces too. There's some gray areas that's going to be in that ticket that may actually help him beat that case, honestly, because that
Really?
do his due diligence on writing that ticket.
Wow. Okay. So,
Look
so
at the actual spacings. There's not a 1 foot 6 inch actual spacing. It should have been 4'6" probably, or 5 foot. So who knows? Me, like sometimes I'll go. If I'm trying to find a safe haven, after dark. But I got a permit. One thing for certain, a $200-300 permit can save you thousands of dollars. I mean, honestly, and a mark on your MC and USDOT.
So tell me about this, hatermade. Honestly, how much would a permit like that cost? Like, really, is it only a few $100s?
Yeah, in Georgia, that Georgia permit would probably been no more than $400, man. I mean, Texas, that permit would have been a little over $300. Um, in Georgia too. Georgia, I'm not sure. Actually, though, in the state of Georgia, over 150,000 gross. You're supposed to have. He had a straight 7 axle setup too. He didn't. He can't legally axle that out. I don't believe in Florida, because I know with my setup, I would have to have 4 on the truck, 3 on a
Mhm.
trailer, plus 1 with a spreader bar. 13, 14, 15-foot spread, whatever, from the last axle to the spread. So it'd be a 3 plus 1. That's then I can legally haul up to 160,000. But in the state of Florida, I can barely, axle out on my 8 axle setup, right at 150,000 actually. Due to the axle, the axle weights, right? So he had 7 on the ground, and he was grossing 166,000. So he didn't have the right setup to even haul that load, honestly, in the state of Georgia.
Wow. So at the end of the day, I mean, what would make a person do that, honestly? I mean, to try to save a few $100 and to make some extra dollars. I mean, it is there, I mean, it doesn't look like a good return on investment on that. I mean,
No, I tell you, a lot of times it comes into I don't know what carrier it is, right? So if you can't afford to spend $300 on a permit, you don't need to be hauling that load. Whenever I charge my customers for the permit fee, they're going to pay for it. That's the rate plus the cost of permits and pilot or escorts if I need them. So if I'm charging them, then why not get it? I got busted in Arkansas 2 years ago, and I had a permit, but I was 2 minutes early of curfew going into Arkansas, right? I mean 2 minutes, and that's why I got pulled over because I was not outside of curfew yet. Well, he pulled me over. My phone rang. Sorry. He pulled me over, and I was like, shoot, I'm good. You got a permit. Everything's good. Well, whenever he pulled me down into town to weigh me and measure me, he informed me that the bucket I had on my trailer was 2 inches, like 2 minutes and 2 inches wider than, because I was permitted for 10 foot wide. And the bucket actually shifted a little bit to 10 foot 2 inches. Okay. He voided the permit. He made me sit there and get new permits. Well, that ticket was 3,000 something dollars, right? And the
wow.
permit was hardly anything. But I had a permit, you know. But I was trying to I was trying to get to my destination quickly, honestly. So only because of the customer needed that machine there so I could unload, or they could unload trucks, ahead of me or behind me, right? But I learned a valuable lesson that day, honestly. And, it doesn't matter, why skirt it, And I have brought a piece of equipment to the dark before, but there are several states in the United States that you can travel at night: Tennessee, Kentucky, Colorado, California, New Mexico, and also Arizona at times. Texas, you can, you know, if you're not over 10 foot wide, you can travel on the interstate at night, but it has to be interstate only. So, I utilized a lot of those states, back in the day when I used to haul, and I would run at night because I could get away with it legally. But I think that carrier probably was just, man, I don't know what he was thinking other than he thought he was getting by with it. Didn't want to spend a few $100s on a permit. He was outlawing it. He's being an outlaw guy. But at the end of the day, he got popped. And whoever that officer was that was out that night, he knew. You know, he knew that guy was out. And that wasn't supposed to be. But even though you check the timestamp, he was within that 30 minute, you know, before and 30 minute after sunset rule, because it was 5:06 whenever, or 5:09 when he got pulled over. Sunset was 5:06 that day, so he
Mm.
literally had 30 minutes after 5:06 to travel after sunset. And the Weather Channel's sunset. So he was within his rights, but that officer seen it that day, and I just think that he didn't want to spend the money. Honestly, he was bootlegging
That
it.
it
That's
goes
all
as
it was.
simple as that. Is he didn't want to spend a few $100, and now he's out, over $4,000.
I think it was
You
4,400
know,
that ticket. Yeah. Hmm.
now what does that do to your score, your CSA score and all that? I mean, is
I'm
that
pretty
a is
sure.
that a big pop?
Oh yeah, it is, and I'm pretty sure the driver got shut down, of course. So you have an out of service there, along with the ticket, right? Driver and the company. Hopefully both of them got popped. Honestly, I mean, just being real, you know, hope they come down on both of them and not just the company. Now, if the driver done it on his own, then you hope that the driver got reprimanded for that and it went as out of service on the driver. You know, because the company didn't need it. But 9 times out of 10, the truck boss knew that he was hauling that load. And but if the truck the owner didn't know that, then hopefully the driver got an out of service as well, because it's bad on the company, man. To keep your score, it goes up and up because it hurts you when you're hauling for certain, excuse me, certain people. It's going to hurt you as well. You can't get certain loads if your safety score is too high. I know
Mm.
companies that I'm friends with that they can't haul for certain people because their safety score, and that's going to be permitted. It's going to be secured properly, and we're going to do it legally. And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I may, you know, redirect and I need to get something done. But at the end of the day, though, it's going to be safely done. I mean, because it's mine and Emily's livelihood, right? That's at stake. So I can't necessarily justify, doing a whole bunch of stuff like that. If I'm gonna be running tonight, I'm gonna have a permit. I can promise you that.
I tell you what, so pretty much it almost sounds like he put if he is the carrier, he
Exactly.
put his whole company in jeopardy for a few $100.
Exactly. And that load, who knows? I guarantee you that load didn't even pay $4,400. Promise you.
Okay? So before I let you go, because I need you to go back and celebrate, you know, uh, and enjoy that Key West life for a little bit until you hit that road again. Everyone says that the money's in heavy hauling. Do you recommend it? Do you not recommend it? And what type of characteristic do you need to have to be successful in that type of trucking?
There is great money in it, but there's also watered down money in it. You and I talked about it at Tony's show last or this year. Because when you have a lot of carriers that use our companies use brokers, they really deflate that rate. You know what I mean? I mean deflate it all the way down to nothing. And at the end of the day, I always tell guys that want to get into it, teach them experience, build a good customer base. You build a good customer base, you don't have to worry about brokers. You number one, you take care of your equipment, do what you say you're going to do, because I do. And just go above and beyond and try to make yourself and your company, up there with a lot of other great companies in the United States. Equipment Express, Truett Novosad out of Texas. Big heavy haul company, great guy, knows straight business. I mean Gary Jones, Gary, too, with SPB Trucking. I mean, those two guys, for example, just know the specialized game and know the heavy hauling. If you know they're doing it right, so if you want to do it right, you follow people who know they're doing it right and try to emulate them. Because at the end of the day, if it's something you really want to do and really want to succeed in, you have to do it right and take it seriously. I mean, because it's dangerous too. It's not just throwing some cargo in the back of the trailer and going to the highway. If you're 100,000 pounds, sometimes that's not heavy, but you can haul a lot of stuff without being oversized technically, and be heavy. But big, tall, heavy, and wide. I mean, my buddies with Tri-State. I mean, think about them. Jay and Billy are going to Phoenix right now with 20-foot tall loads. And stretch loads. I mean, that takes skill. That takes talent. And for people who want to get into it, just make sure you take it seriously, in my opinion, and want to do
Oh,
it. But
oh
get
yeah.
experience in it. And try to be the best that you can at your craft for yourself, and that's it. And I encourage people to chase your dreams, man, and do what they makes them happy. Honestly, because we want everybody to win, straight up. So
Hey, I'll tell you one trait in winners. Real winners always want everyone to win.
dang right,
You
we do.
know,
But knuckleheads like the guy in Georgia make us all look bad, man. So
I tell you, man. So, for all the truck drivers out there, man, don't lose your company and your reputation over $300.
no, no, no,
You
no.
know,
It don't take nothing. I know a real good permit company. I know two of them. I know three of them. You need a permit, man? Look me up. I'll hook you up. All right.
Hey, there it is. So send me your links, and then send me your email or whatnot. And they can reach out to you, and anybody that is thinking about getting to the heavy haul game, things like that. Uh, Check out my guy hatermade. Jacob is such a quality guy. He has a lot of experience, and he's enjoying this one time right now. But usually, if you don't mind, I might have to show a little clip of your truck and what you do a
Hey,
little bit. You know what I mean?
hey,
But
Monday I'll be loaded with a big compactor going to Denver. It's already set up. Got a big Traco coming back to Texas. So, as soon as this is over with, reality sets in Sunday night when I get home. Monday morning we're trucking. I mean, that's the way you do it.